$8 million. $8 million for making mice transgender.
Yep. he said that. He said it. And when I unfull screen this, you'll see, shout out to Mo on X. This idiot thinks transgenic mice means transgender. So Trump said this during his, address, and the the shit libs lost their minds and started saying that he's an idiot, that the studies were for transgenic mice, and that is true. There was one section of $8 million that was, sent on transgenic mice, but there were, there's more money given out. That was only 1 million out of the 8 million. I'll show you in a second. The point is yes, the Biden administration really did spend $8 million on transgender mice. They did. It's true. Here it is, whitehouse.org or whitehouse.gov. Yes, Biden spent millions on transgender animal experiments. Yeah, it happened. It happened. Last night, President Donald J. Trump highlighted many of the egregious examples of waste, fraud, and abuse funded by American taxpayers, including $8 million spent by the Biden administration, quote, for making mice transgender. The fake news losers at CNN immediately tried to fact check it, but President Trump was right as usual. He was right. I was always right. I'm always right. I'm never wrong. Fact. This is a fucking fact. Under the Biden administration, the National Institute of Health doled out millions of dollars in taxpayer-funded grants for institutions across the country to perform transgender experiments on mice. $455,000 is a little bullet points, huh? $455,000, quote, a mouse model to test the effects of gender-affirming hormone therapy on HIV vaccine-induced immune responses. In order to test the effect of gender-affirming hormone therapy on HIV vaccine-induced immunoresponses, you would have to try to trans the mice. $2.5 million for, quote, reproductive consequences of steroid hormone administration. Quote, these mice manifest defects in ovarian architecture and have altered folliculogenesis. I don't know what that means, but yeah, so you're giving hormone replacements to appears to be female mice, considering it's their ovaries are affected by it. $299,940 to gender affirming testosterone therapy on breast cancer risk and treatment outcomes. This is for transgender people who get who are going through hormone therapy and are growing their breasts. Trans men or trans women, I guess. Quote, we will compare the incidences and tumor-specific survival in female mice intact and oophorectomized female mice receiving TT with their respective counterparts that do not receive TT. Testosterone therapy. Oh, I'm sorry, this was the other way around. This is checking females who are going through TRT and if it's causing them to get breast cancer. So they're taking female mice, giving them TRT, and seeing if it transes them and gives them breast cancer. $735,113, quote, microbiome-mediated effects of gender-affirming hormone therapy in mice. So that was just outright. There's not even like an addendum to that. That's just, hey, here's $735,000 to study the microbiome effects whenever you're using gender-affirming hormone therapy in mice. This is the big one that they're kind of harping on. They're making the claim that like Trump said transgender when he meant or whenever it was transgenic, so he's stupid. $1.2 million on, quote, androgen effects on the reproductive neuroendocrine axis. Quote, AIM 2 utilizes transgenic mice to test whether male-level androgens acting via AR, specifically in kisspeptin neurons, are necessary and or sufficient for androgen inhibition of in vivo LH pulse parameters, including pulse frequency and the estrogen-induced LH surge. So yes, that's the one that they're kind of harping on. Transgenic. Um, but yeah, and then the last one, $3.1 million for gonadal hormones as mediators of sex and gender influences in asthma. We will study the contributions of estrogens to HDM-induced asthma outcomes using male and female gonadectomized mice treated with estradiol. So yeah, these are the specific things that money was spent on, and multiple times they were doing trans studies on mice. Now, obviously you have to do animal testing before you do human testing, so I get that to a degree, but like Trump is bombastic and he says things like this, but he wasn't lying and he didn't misspeak. They're giving hormone treatments to mice and then taking those mice that have been transed and doing experiments on them. So when Trump says that they spent $8 million, 8,290,053 on transing the mice, he wasn't lying. You're just coping. Short video today. If you like the video, like it. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. If you like it, hit the like button and comment. Tell me how stupid I am. Or that you agree. Or both. That you think I'm stupid, but you ultimately agree that I'm a broken clock and I'm right twice a day. And, follow the links and do all the algorithm stuff. Throw me a bone.